out of 6 possible. So theoretically, the probability would be 1/6. Okay, if you actually did 1 divided by 6 and turned it into a decimal, you would get 0.16 repeat, 66666. And then if you multiplied by 100, you would get about, what, 16.7%. Okay, so that's if you turned it into a decimal or a percent. It's totally fine just to leave it as a fraction, though, 1/6. Okay, so now we actually rolled the die, and we did it
very nice.
175
you made a flag.
times.
Very good. Did
that
you do
sound like
all
a
50
fun
stars?
Experiment? We did it
Wow.
175
Nice.
times, and these are the results over to the right. So if I add these all up, it equals 175 times. So take a look at the stats here. You would expect that it would be an equal number of 1s, an equal number of 2s, an equal number of 3s, 4s, 5s, and 6s. If it was a brand new die right out of the packaging, you would probably get really close to equal. So what do you notice about these numbers? Is there one that's kind of low or one that's kind of high? Yeah, I agree with Alicia. Look at 2 is pretty low.
3, I think.
And 3 is higher than the other ones. If you took 175 and divided it by 6, it's around 30. So we should have gotten a frequency of about 30 for each one of these, right?
Really good.
29, 30.
Good job.
So we can see that 2 is low and 3 is high. Now this could be a really old die, and you know just as well as anybody else that the weight on the inside may be off a little bit, right? And so it tends to roll more towards the 3s and less towards the 2s, etc. Okay, so here's your question for today. What is the experimental probability of rolling a 2? We know that theoretically you have a 1 out of 6 chance, but experimentally, what is it for a 2? So what you need to focus on is just the data for 2. How many times did they actually roll a 2?
You can put it out in the front porch if you want.
Good. 15. And how many times did they do this in the experiment? Nice. 175. Very good. So this is the experimental probability of rolling a 2. Can we reduce this? Good, Josh. Yeah, do you notice that they both end in 5? Remember that trick that we talked about? If the numbers both end in 5, they actually are both divisible by 5. So if we say 15 divided by 5, we would get 3. And 175 divided by 5, I'm going to need a little help with that one. What is 175 divided by 5? Josh says 35. Can I get someone to confirm? Thanks, Miriam. Okay, so 3 over 35. Nice. Okay, so if that's all they want is the fraction, you would be done. 3 over 35. I want to kind of compare this to my 16.7%, which is what it's supposed to be. So I'm actually going to say, what is 3 divided by 35 in my calculator? And get 0.08.
Yep, that's it. So easy.
When I multiply by 100 to turn that into a percent, I get 8.6%. Huh. So that's interesting because we were supposed to get 16.7, and what we got was 8.6. So we're a little low based on theoretically what we were supposed to get. Would you agree?
I'm so close.
2s were low, and we could see that from the calculator. All right. Yeah, I know. All right, so I have a new one for you. This one is a cool colored spinner. And there's 3 equal sections here. And you can see that we've got a red section, an orange section, and a purple